Hi, welcome again to this channel. It's Let's Parent Podcast, and I am so really sorry for disappearing for a very long time without saying a word, without saying what really happened, and then I just disappeared into the thin air. And I would just say life happened. We sometimes got caught into some things, and then it turned out kwamba unafanya ndio, anyways, maybe an excuses for not showing up where you're supposed to be showing up, or maybe it's motherhood. Let's blame it on motherhood, or maybe just really life happened. So while I was away, I couldn't stop thinking about the topic here. It takes a village to raise a kid, a whole village, and I think all these 2 months that I've been away, this is the only thing that I've been ringing into my head. It takes a village to raise a kid. It takes a village to raise a kid. Yani, I couldn't wait to get back on my camera and talk about this again. So here I am today, and let's discuss about this, taking a village to raise a kid. Ilikuwa rahisi sisi kukua kwa sababu tulikuwa tunakuzwa na kijiji. Ulikuwa ukienda kwa baba mdogo, ukienda kwa mama mdogo, ukienda huko mtaa wa jirani, ukikutana sijui na nani umefanya kosa, watakuadhibu. Ilikuwa ni rahisi kwa kijiji kuungana kwa pamoja katika kumlea mtoto. Kwa hiyo I think it was a little bit, I won't say easier, but a little bit easier kwa wazazi kufanya malezi by that time kwa kipindi chao, and maybe that was the reason tulikuwa hatu experience au hatusikii kuhusiana na depression, kuhusiana na the struggles wazazi wanapitia katika malezi, kwa sababu it was not that much of a lone thing kwamba ni wewe na wewe only. Inaweza ikawa ilikuwa kuna a group of people, kulikuwa kuna wanakijiji wenzako, kulikuwa kuna majirani wenzako, kulikuwa kuna ndugu wanaokuzunguka, like kulikuwa kuna msaada. Mtoto anaweza katoka nje akaenda kucheza and it was safe kwenda kucheza, or maybe I would say kwenye mazingira ya watu wengi it was a little safe. Ilikuwa ni rahisi kwa mtoto kwenda mtaa wa tatu na kutokufanya makosa, kwa sababu kulikuwa kuna standard ya malezi ambayo mama yangu mimi, mama yako, mama wa yule akikutana na wewe umefanya kosa atakuadhibu. Ilikuwa it's at peace, kwa sababu mimi nilikuwa nikimuona mtoto wa jirani yangu namuona kama mtoto wangu. Kiacha watu wenye very personal roho mbaya ambazo zipo, hizo haimaanishi ni miaka iliyopita au ni miaka hii, lakini kulikuwa kuna hizo, so it was easier. And then sasa hivi sisi ni mimi na mume wangu na watoto wangu, sisi ndio village, and we are the only one who raise kids. Hata kama we have neighbors, hata kama we have a whole village behind us, it's just been like my kids are my kids. Nobody is allowed to touch my kid, nobody is allowed to teach my kids. And these days we even justify why we shouldn't touch others' kids, or maybe why my kid should not be touched by anyone, au asiadhibiwe na mtu yoyote. Nilipomlea mtoto wangu mimi ni sahihi, which kila mtu anavolea mtoto wake anaamini kwamba ni sahihi, lakini nilipomlea mtoto wangu mimi ni sahihi, na hamna mtu mwingine tena mwenye the authority or hiyo chance ya kumcorrect mtoto wangu. It's extremely to the extent that even watu wanaokaa ndani ya nyumba zetu hawawezi kuadhibu watoto, na kuna watu ambao it's even worse kwamba baba labda hawezi kumwadhibu mtoto au mama hawezi kumwadhibu mtoto kwa sababu they don't agree on how wanaamua kuparent. So it's just that us and us alone into raising kid. Na ukiachia kwamba it's us and us alone, also kuna cases za abuses zinazotokea. You do not know nani anakuja kwako atamfanyia nini mtoto wako. Kwa hiyo tuko kwenye dunia ya uoga, kwenye dunia ambayo mimi simjui hata ndugu yangu mwenyewe, maybe naweza nisimuamini. Siku hizi watu hawaamini uncles, hawaamini aunties that surrounds our kid. We don't trust the friends that are there, and like we live in a world that we don't trust one another. That's the biggest problem that we have right now. Kwa hiyo kwa sababu mimi sikuamini, siwezi kukuachia mtoto wangu pia unisaidie kumlea, unisaidie kumwangalia au mwadhibu. Lakini pia kwa sababu tumeamua kubeba umimi, mtoto wangu ni mtoto wangu according to a lot of other reasons, haturuhusu walimu, wawachape au waadhibu, wafundishe watoto wetu tabia. Kwa hiyo mwalimu kazi yake yeye ni kuwa mwalimu, kumfundisha mtoto wako darasani. Mambo mengine yanayohusiana na tabia, it's not the business, kwa sababu kuna some cases niliongea na baadhi ya walimu nikawauliza, so how it is kulea watoto katika like watoto wetu sisi. Mwalimu akaniambia hivi, nyie ambao mna watoto especially hizi private schools, watoto wanapatikana huko mahospital makubwa and they are paid a lot of money, inaonekana kwamba yani this kid is expensive, so nobody is allowed to touch my kid. Akanasema kuna watoto wa IVF, I think they call it IVF or okay, IVF. Kwa hiyo these kids have costed a lot kwa wazazi. Kwa hiyo ni kama lulu, ni kama yai kwao. You are not allowed to touch them, and it's a big deal. Mzazi akiamua mwalimu akiamua kumwadhibu mtoto, wazazi wanakuja juu, yani it get worse. I happen kuongea na mkuu wa shule moja, akasema hivi it's worse kwa sababu wazazi wanaenda wanawafuata walimu like, wow, walimu wenu mmewatolea wapi? Ni walimu wa aina gani? Kwa nini wanashika watoto wetu? So it's that much worse. Imagine even the teacher who spend time with your kid almost the whole day is not allowed to correct your kid. Na wewe mzazi ambaye you're supposed to be correcting your kid, you only spend 1 hour or 2 hours with your kid. The village is gone, right? Haya, kuna watu ambao wanakaa in the same house, they are not allowed kumchapa, kugombeza, kufanya kitu chochote kwa mtoto. Either ni dada, ni ndugu mnaokaa nao. Kwa mtoto haruhusiwi kuwa corrected na mtu yoyote. And this is the village that we are talking about. And let's talk about the way we don't trust one another because hatuna relationship just to get to know the person. I don't know if it makes sense. Imagine I just have a friend that I don't even trust the friend as an adult na mazingira tuliyoko kwa sababu we are scared of fake friends. How do I build a community and leave these people with my kid because I trust them? You can't do that. And also imagine the neighbors around us. I do not know my neighbors. Sijawahi kuongea na jirani yangu. Simjui the way ana parent au the way ana stand on what. Sijui kama ni mtu ambaye anaongea maneno mabaya around kids. Simjui. So how would I trust this person? Where is that village? The village is not there because in the first place wazazi hatuna that village on our own. We do not have relationship na watu wanaotuzunguka. We do not have a good relationship na familia kutokana labda na hizo worries that we have are abusive, and we do not have good relationship even with the people who are so-called our friends. So we don't trust them with our kid, or they don't trust us with their kids, to the extent that these kids are growing in the same environment with the same people and adapting everything the same. They don't get to learn, they don't get kuona watu huko nje wanafanya nini, wanaishije. So maisha nje ya nyumbani kwetu yakoje, kwa sababu the system is the same. Akitoka akienda kucheza, the parents are there, kwa hiyo watakuwa wana monitor. They do not even know how to socialize with other kids kwa sababu hiyo. And then at the same time huendi kwa ndugu, let's say jamaa na marafiki, kwa sababu we are not allowed, so we don't get to develop and grow the relationship with those people. But at the same time we don't get to associate and socialize with people around us, the neighbors, kwa sababu we don't even talk with our neighbors. So how will one kid and the other learn to talk with the neighbors? So this is one of those problems that we have, and I think we just need to figure out. Because of the lack of this village and the society into raising kids, it affects both the kids and the parents. The parents get into that depression phase because imagine you are struggling, you do not know what to do, and you don't even have somebody kuongea naye, kumwambia, au hata mtu kukushikia mtoto kukusaidia. Imagine unafanya kazi, dada amekukimbia, you have just your kid and your husband, and then one of you has to struggle to figure out how mtoto either baki mwenyewe au ataenda shule, arudi nyumbani, everything is settled, and you still have to attend work. Kwa wale ambao unakaa nyumbani ndio umeanza, una navigate the parenthood, both parents, and things get worse. So you think you're the only one who go through it. You're the only one who, I don't know, life like has been there and things have turned up and down. I remember I had this one case with somebody. Alikuwa, it's her first time as a mom, and then also na mume wake, it was just their first time parenting, and these people we are going back and forth like, wewe ulivyokuwa kabla una mtoto ulikuwa unafanya so and so and so, it was easier mwanaume than complaining, and mwanamke is like, now I have kids, things are getting worse and what, and then hana msichana, hana msaada, kwa hiyo she just have to do everything on her own. And I think maybe to this man probably alikuwa haelewi kwa sababu hajawahi kusikia kwamba this is what happen when you have kids, things change, and maybe just maybe wamepata watoto wakiwa katika umri, I won't say mdogo, lakini but then maybe they were not prepared, and she was like, the stress was getting worse, and she was like, I am tired and I just want to leave this marriage. I no longer wanted to work, kwa sababu mwanaume anielewi na mwanamke analalamika mwanaume amwelewi. Then we had a conversation. We started talking about it with the other friend, like it was 3 of us. Then we started talking about it. Kila mtu akashare the way alikuwa anahisi the story on their side. It was worse kwake, alishare the way it was complicated, na mimi shared my story. As for me, I had a village, I would say. I have people that came through for me, so I did not experience the depression the way people experienced. I had a lot of helps. Kwa hiyo I had muda wa kutosha kupumzika, kufanya mambo yangu ambayo nataka kufanya, hata kama ni just tu vitu vidogo vidogo for fun. Then it was easy for me to have 30 minutes, 1 hour of myself. If I didn't sleep at night, lala mchana for sure, kwa sababu I know I have a lot of people around me. They will look after my kid and my baby will be safe. Hata kama ni like I will just sleep for 3 to 4 hours. Kwa hiyo when we talked with that person, that's when I realized maybe we just have to speak out, so wanaume wajue what is happening na wanawake pia wajue, ili to exist in this space ya kwamba we struggle, but this is the way I got out of the struggle, and maybe this is the way I navigated, this is the way nimemsaidia mke wangu, na this is the way maybe nilisaidia au I understood the man. Kwa hiyo having a village helps you as a mother when you start their journey. But for kids, when they start growing, wakishazoea, washajua watu wa nyumbani, they get to go out na learn vitu kwa watu tofauti. They learn to fight on their own. They learn how to survive on their own kwenye little things. Alidondoka akainuka, kwa sababu wenzake wote hamna mtu pale ambaye atakuwepo ashtuke aanze kumbembeleza. Kwa you just have to stand and move as if nothing happened. Right now ukidondoka au kiumia ukawa unalia na hamna mtu kukubembeleza, you just have to pat yourself, oh it's okay, and then you move. That's how the kids supposed to learn as well. But this also imepelekea watoto has we have kids ambao wana mental health issues at a very young age. Kids they just have anxiety at a very early stage, kwa sababu when you are around people and you have never associated with them, what do you do with them? When you are out and you don't have your tablet, you don't have the cartoon, you don't have your mother's phone, what do you do with your life? Like, what am I supposed to do when I'm out and I don't have my gadgets out there? So I think these are the problems that we have. Kids cannot focus. The kid cannot just sit still for hours or say somewhere around the fellow kids to maybe play and have some time. And just because I'm bored, what am I supposed to do with others? Like, are we supposed to look at each other, talk? What are we talking about? And parents and in the household, everybody's tired or maybe everybody's busy. So we just coexist into one another space, having our own gadgets in our own world. The kid is into kids' world. The parents are into their own world, maybe the social media, the learning or whatever you choose to do. And We don't talk, we don't socialize, we do not know even each other. I do not know how my kids, they went at school. We just coexist without even knowing how the other person doing. That's how it become worse. But imagine, just imagine, mtoto ametoka shule, they can't wait kwenda kwa washikaji zao, kwa watoto wenzao, kuhadithia what happens leo at school. When they get there, you meet your people, mnacheza mipira. Wow, wanacheza mipira. Zamani ilikuwa, it was easy, mnacheza rede. You don't remember kama, actually we never knew kama hata simu zinatakiwa kushikwa na watoto. And probably their kids at our age, they had those gadgets at home. We grew up in that community, the village. Ukienda kwa mama fulani kule, ukifanya kosa utachapwa. So you just have to behave when you get there. The kids in our age as parents, mtoto wangu mimi akienda kwa jirani akimisbehave, jirani anapata kazi kumchapa kwa sababu maybe I might overreact kama sikumpea jirani the chance and opportunity, or maybe like it's okay akikosea mchape, mwazibu, mgombeze. Haya, akitoka akienda kwa ndugu, mtoto anasumbua, ndugu hawezi kufanya kitu chochote kwa sababu labda wanaogopa yani hawezi hata kumcorrect mtoto wako kwa sababu atareact. Akireact then what? Ugomvi. Kwa sababu nobody wants that. They just leave your kid to be however and whatever they want to be. So this, I think, are the problems that are growing slowly. We see them, we know they are there, but we just maybe choose not to, or maybe we ignore and think kwamba ndo utandawazi. So what's the way forward to move from this raising kids on our own box and into raising kids with our people, the people we trust? I think the first thing, we should just create relationship with people ambao wana associate na watoto wako muda mrefu. Let's try to create relationship na walimu ambao wanaangalia watoto wetu kwa muda mrefu. Let's talk and give the teacher that I would say space and confidence kwamba just look after my kids the way like as I handle my kids to you in the morning, and before I pick them in the evening, you just have 8 hours to spend with them. Can you please look after them? Let's in case of any change behavior, allow me to know as a teacher kama umefigure out. Lakini as mzazi pia, be open minded. It's okay to assume kwamba mtoto wako ni malaika, and then you are told kwamba mwanao sio malaika as the way you think she is or he is. So be ready to receive these comments and get to know your kid even better. Get to understand your kids, spend time with them, notice your kids, make conscious decision to be their parent. And conscious decision, it means the way you're monitoring your business, the way you check on your business daily, what is there and what is not there, checking on the bookkeepings and everything. Do the same with your kid. How are they behaving at school, at home, with the people who are looking after your kids? When they're around other kids, what do they hide? When they don't have maybe the gadgets, if they own one, how are your kids? More than the way you assume and know your kids. Who are they? Get to know them slowly. Figure out. Spend time with them. Ask. Talk to your kids. And you just connect from what the teachers or the people who spend time with your kids tells you. Because it's one thing for somebody to tell you something, and it's another thing for it to be true. So get time to learn your kid and also listen to the people that spend time with your kid. Watu wengine ambao I would like really to give them a space, and I really love, or I would like for us to even pull them closer to us, are the dadas who spend time with our kids. They know our kids, and I think watoto wanaweza kuact however and whatever they want in front of dada more than the way they will act in front of anybody else. Kwa sababu most parents, we mistreat our dada, so it's easy for the kids to also mistreat them. So from there you get to learn the behaviors. I think just spend also with getting to know them, and getting to know them means also know their behaviors, so you know how also it impacts your kid. I'll also say create community of the people that parent like you, maybe open-minded like you, or maybe they don't mind sharing their struggles with you. Like here in our Let's Parent podcast, we would just like to create that comforty of parents to get to know and experience that you are not alone. You are not the only one who struggles. That the only reason I started this podcast. So we learn. When you listen to my story and somebody else's story, I know we'll have a lot of people, and you get to know, oh, so this is what every parent experience, and this is how they got out of it, or maybe this is how they're still figuring out, or maybe this is never an ending issue. Maybe you get to learn a lot of things, and get the community. However and whatever community, even if it's not me and my community, get somewhere else where you get to learn and experience kids in different levels, so you get to know your kids as well. The people that are around you, when you get to know them, allow them to be there to teach your kid as well. I would like to say that if you have extremely cases, seek for professional help. There are counselors that do this work, therapists that do the work. So get that help if it's really needed. But then the last thing I would say, seek knowledge. Seek knowledge as much as you can. In our society right now, we just do things, a lot of things on our own, especially parenting. So seek knowledge from the elders, from the people who have been there before you, that have older kids than yours, or maybe from the books, from the podcast, from the, I don't know how, wherever that you get knowledge. And you know the good thing about knowledge, you will learn and relearn every single day. It's not like you do something and this is the end, the final point. No, unless you decided this is what I'm going to go with for the rest of my life. But then you have a chance to learn, relearn, and unlearn. Mfano, I was so gentle parenting because of the way people portray out there the gentle parenting. Until I read one book, one day I realized how gentle parent works, and I agree with that person completely. And from reading that book, I am trying my best to gentle parent as much as I can. And after 5 years of being against gentle parenting, imagine, this year was when I changed my mind. This person was explaining gentle parenting the way God is gentle with us. And he explained on the Corinthians, like 1 Corinthians 13, on love is kind, is not rude, hizo zote. He explained about the fruits of the Holy Spirit. Ukiwa nazo hizo ni rahisi kuziishi. So ukiziishi ni rahisi pia kuzipea watoto wake. Like ameelezea gentle parenting in a very godly and nice way that is understandable. And gentle parenting does not mean kwamba una close your eyes when your kid do something and you're like, no darling, he must have done it because of 1, 2, 3. No. You correct your kid. You correct your kid like you love them, not because you just want to protect them and hide from the gentle parenting. And I've realized gentle parenting is hard, but because before I become gentle to my kids, I just have to be gentle with myself. I just have to be gentle with things that I do and the way I interact with people. I just have to be kind before I become kind to my kids. So I have to do the work before I go and do the work to my kids. So I think it's really hard because you just have to do the work on your own. that is where I had a problem with gentle parenting. Like, people think the gentle parenting is just petting your kids even if they make mistakes. You just close your eyes when they just do something crazy. And no, it is different. So parents, let's do better, and see you again on the next episode. If this is your first time and you've come across this podcast, please subscribe, share with people so we get to learn and create this beautiful community that we have for parents. But then, see you next